I've seen people talk about how millennials and Gen Z don't have the same spending power as like their parents. But one thing we don't talk about is how everything is now a subscription. Like you can't buy or own anything. Rent is a subscription. Netflix, water subscription, utilities, electricity subscription, like everything, it cannot be bought. It can only be licensed on a monthly basis. And what happens is you never get to a point where like those costs trail off. Like those costs are forever. They're in perpetuity every month until the end of the universe. And that's something like your folks or your grandparents didn't have to deal with. Because back in the day, like, not even a house, but let alone other things you could just buy outright. Like, you can't just buy Adobe anymore. You have to join one of their subscription plans. You can't just buy Microsoft Excel software. You have to stream spreadsheets now.
Hi guys, welcome back to This African Perspective. Thank you all for stopping by. We're going to be talking about how a lot of stuff have become a monthly based subscription. This is a part 2 on it. We all know that there are some things that are just not meant to be a subscription, but they are actually pushing it. Like once you just hear that this particular thing is a subscription, you just be like, that's actually pushing it because you guys are doing too much now. But before we get right into this video, I want to give a very big shout out to Owens Daniels for sending me a $2 super thanks and Sean White for sending me a $2 super thanks. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please make sure you click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Clicking the like button helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into it.
The CEO of Logitech just said that they would consider making a subscription-based mouse, like for your computer, a computer mouse. That is serious. I thought she was joking at first, then I watched the video, and she's actually not kidding. She's genuinely serious about this and compares it to some of their other subscription-based models and says it's not that different.
I'm just going to ask this very directly. Can you envision a subscription mouse?
Possibly.
And that would be the Forever Mouse. So you pay a subscription for software updates too.
Yeah, and you never have to worry about it again, which is not unlike our video conferencing services today.
But it's a mouse. I think like
it's a mouse. Yeah.
Now, it's not something that's probably actually going to be happening next year, but the fact that they're thinking about it this way and that this is the way the world is going is very concerning to say the least. It is getting harder and harder to own anything, even things that you already own. Some of the power is hidden behind it. These types of things are just getting out of control, and to be a consumer in this day and age is getting really tricky. Now you can say don't buy it, of course, but just everything is trending this way. It's scary to say the least. I'd be curious to know what you think about this. Let me know in the comments. Follow me for more financial, tech, and money news.
I hate that everything is a subscription now. Like, there are some things that are not meant to be a subscription. Like features that are built into your car, not meant to be a subscription. Ink for your printer, not meant to be a subscription. Why does it seem like every single business is now trying this business model? Like, I get you want to make money more than anything in the world, and I get there is people who are willing to pay for a subscription, but like, can we just not? Can we just not? And I saw like McDonald's is now saying they're not making enough money every month. $10, they're going to become Panera and do like the sip of the month thing that Panera is trying. And there's going to be a subscription service at McDonald's. That is probably my biggest pet peeve of late stage capitalism is every single business is only focused on growth and what will make them a profit. Like, you are not going to grow infinitely. Your customer base will dry up. We are getting less people on this planet, thank fucking God. So instead of now trying to grow, they're just trying to suck more money out of their current customer base.
Bought it, and then I found out after having it a few months and then storing it for like a couple of years. Like, I've had it a long time. I stored it and I got it back out, and I can't use it without a subscription, even though I also bought ink and paper and everything to make it work. You still have to have a subscription just to own it, even though I already bought it.
The CEO of Hewlett-Packard has confirmed their long-term objective is to make printing a subscription. Good luck with that. Last year, HP remotely updated their printer's firmware so they wouldn't work with third-party ink cartridges. And it was about as welcome as when Apple put U2's album on everyone's iPod in 2014. HP are currently in the middle of a lawsuit. They're claiming that they had to block third-party ink cartridges because they would make their printers open to hackers who might install viruses that might print a test page or something. I'm not sure what they're going for here, but in a shareholder meeting back in December, HP said blocking third-party ink has led to a spike in sales of their own cartridges. No shit! If I need ink and I can only use yours, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work this out. And even if it did, it wouldn't impress Shania Twain. Customers are pissed, and cybersecurity experts who have no vested interest in HP aren't buying the bullshit claim that dynamic security is needed, which brings us to today. In January, the CEO confirmed their long-term goal is to make printing a subscription for the greater good.
About the greater good.
The greater good. This is the next big issue in the subscription economy, where a company has a bad business model, which, by the way, is not our issue, but they're still going to try and make money on hardware after we purchased it. And before you ask, yes, I have covered the first big issue with the subscription economy in an entirely different video. Namely, that everything is going digital and we're having to rent it from platforms that can remove it at will whenever they feel like it. If you want to watch that video, you can find it here. You're fucking welcome. And it's happening in all industries, from printers to cars putting heated seats behind a paywall. Oh, come on, Elon. Not literally. Stick to what you're good at, ruining Twitter. The CEO acknowledged that their business model has always been about selling printers at break even or at a loss in the hope that we, the great unwashed, will buy cartridges from them forever and ever, amen. HP, much like any other publicly traded company, has promised their shareholders forever growth, which is both not possible or achievable, so please stop promising that. In a global marketplace where people can find a cheaper version of your product, if you start to charge an unreasonable or unaffordable amount of money, you're gonna lose sales. But that's a you issue. Don't try and make it an us issue and block us off from the rest of the marketplace because we don't want to pay your ever-increasing prices, you fuck nuggets. Oh, and while we're at it, stop making it so your printers won't scan or fax without ink. You famously don't need ink to scan or fax something, but HP has modified their printers. So, for example, if you only wanted to use 2 features of your 3-in-1 device and avoid printing because you don't want to sign up to their ink cartridge subscriptions, you're fat out of luck there too. No ink, no scan, no faxes. I'm not sure who's using faxes these days, but they shouldn't have to buy a superfluous product. Although, to be fair, if they bought a fax machine, they've already bought a superfluous product, but that's not the fucking point. So much for their sustainability pledge. Well, my printer came with an offer where I get free printing for life. Well, boy, do I have some news for you, me in a hat. You didn't, because apparently that free ink for life deal was an introductory offer. Apparently you didn't die quick enough, so now they're having to adjust their offering to create more flexibility, which is corporate speak for we're going to charge you more and you're going to get less. I don't want to interrupt, but the CEO of HP just said the quiet part loudly by describing people who buy their printers but not their overpriced cartridges as a bad investment for HP. The actual fuck! Now, credit where the bare minimum has happened, he is being more honest than most CEOs by admitting that they lose money on customers who decide to buy third-party ink cartridges because their ink cartridges are extortionately priced. But at the risk of repeating myself, that's not our fault. And then a week after this, HP released their all-in-one subscription solution, where you would take out a 2-year contract with no break clause for between $7 and $13 a month to print up to 20 pages every 30 days. Their reasoning is that with this subscription, you'll never need to buy a printer or a cartridge ever again. And you know what? I'll meet them in the middle. I don't want to ever buy a printer or a cartridge ever again. But whichever cockwomble came up with this needs to be fired stat. Now, you'd be forgiven at this point for thinking that I'm picking on HP, because I am. But this is going to keep happening across the board with all of our devices, because we now live in a world where companies apparently can't make enough profit on a one-time purchase, or we don't buy their stuff often enough, so they have to invent subscriptions to ring-fence off our money from their competitors. And the only way to solve it is to say, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore, and I'm going to take my wallet and buy a printer from another company. Godspeed.
I'm losing my mind over this. Here's what's happening. My partner and I got a new printer. It was an HP. It seemed fine. And I went to print like a packing label or something, and it just wouldn't print at all. And I couldn't, there's no message on my computer that was explaining it.
And the ink is completely full. I replaced it like last week.
And the reason it's not printing says payment method needs updating.
Cannot print with the installed cartridge. As you can see, this page is printed fine.
That's infuriating.
Yeah,
I would be so mad if I'm trying to print something out and my printer is like keeps printing out a page that says I can't print. I won't print.
I won't print, exactly.
Maggie's brand new printer had been working normally for 6 months before it suddenly refused to print. She did some digging and realized HP had enrolled her in their ink subscription service called Instant Ink.
Get ready to ink differently with HP Instant Ink. Your printer anticipates when you're low and sends you the right ink right on time for less.
But Maggie's printer still had ink in it when it stopped working. It turns out that when your Instant Ink subscription expires, or if you cancel it, HP remotely kills your cartridges.
That's when I started Googling it and figuring out like that's a problem other people were having.
The ink that you paid $122 some for, that's in your printer right now, you can't use that.
I have 2 full cartridges that I don't have access to because I canceled HP's Instant Ink monthly service that they want to fuck everybody with.
Subscriptions are so annoying, and they're everywhere these days. There are monthly fees to watch movies, listen to music, shop, play video games, water your plants, use your sewing machine, brush your teeth, turn on your lights, open your garage door, start up your car, use your fridge, your toaster, your water bottle. There's so many subscriptions you probably didn't notice that we made up 3 of these. And I bet you can't guess which ones. It's these 3.
Buying an expensive physical thing and then also having to keep paying for something every month.
Like the crazy thing about the capitalist society is we usually like they'll start up with something and then they'll just keep pushing it and wanting to do even more and worse things. And you're like, some things that are ridiculous, just normal stuff that I went to pay money for, you're telling me that I need to pay a subscription just to have access to it, a monthly based subscription at that. Like they're gonna make you get used to something to the extent where you feel like you can't live without it, and then it's like bam, they're gonna try to make sure they would continue to rip you off for wanting that thing, because you are at a point, you've gotten to that point where you don't feel like you can do without it. Like you need it all the time because you're used to it. Like it's something that you became so accustomed to. And then now you're just going to get to the point where you have to consistently pay and pay and pay. And it's like, it's not enough that we already have so many things that we're paying for, but others and their greed would just progressively keep getting higher and higher. And then you have to some way find a way to make sure that you pay for all these things. And it's like, it's crazy. Now I get it. From a business perspective, you want to make money, you want to make profits, and you want to always find a way. Like that is the point of why you started the business. You want to always figure out a way to make so much money from that business. You don't want to just start up something and not make something from it or even grow bigger, because we all want to like be bigger. We want to earn more. We wish to progress. Nobody want to stay stagnant or move backwards. But the problem is now they need to just take it easy. Like the whole thing is becoming too much. Everything, the membership is becoming too much. You are trying to cancel membership or a subscription that you've paid for. They're giving you a whole hectic procedures just to do that. And it's like, that's ridiculous. So I think they just need to like take it easy. Like take it easy. I understand you all are, you know, money hungry, like they're just trying to, like sharks, they're trying to get that money, but take it easy. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. Please don't forget to click the like button. As I said, it helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.